Hey everybody, what's the deal? My name is Little Feezy. Today I'm gonna be doing a rotor and brake pad change. I'm just gonna go through each step, show you what you need and everything like that. How to jack up the car, what to take off, torque specs, and everything. I actually don't have my electrical. I have my electrical tools, but I don't have my my adapters to connect my sockets, so I'll be doing it manually. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get you some chalk off the wheels. Next, you want to jack the car up like so. All right, and after you jack the car up, you want to put the jack stands underneath. Now you want to lower the jack onto the stands. Once it's stable, give the car a good shaking. Make sure it's sturdy, it's on there. And then you want to jack up the jack, just for safety precautions. Push it up and put it on the chassis again. Not jack it all the way up, but just let it sit on there a little bit, just in case it drops or your jack stand fails. It'll fall onto the jack stand and it'll catch it. Also, an additional safety precaution would be to put the tire underneath the vehicle once you take it off. So I have it off now. What I'm gonna do is I'll be taking off the brake caliper and the brake caliper bracket. So in order to take that off, I would be going to remove the brake caliper to take the pads off first. I'm gonna need to oh man, I'm gonna remove this first, and then I'm gonna remove this nut second. All right, and then after that, I'm gonna remove, where are you, baby? This nut right there, and if you can see the one at the top right there, and those are the nuts that hold in the caliper bracket. Once I do that, I'm gonna have access to remove the rotor, and then I'll be able to install the rotor. And you know, once you take it off, it's the same thing as putting it back on. So first things first, we're going to remove this nut here first. It takes a 14 millimeter, and I'm going to be removing it with my extension to make it easier. All right, we'll try to do this with one hand. Very simple. My brake components are in pretty good condition. So I'm gonna move up to this one. Crack that one open. I'm gonna take the bottom one off first. Take that off. I'm gonna take the top off next. All right. Now, this should fall off. All right. Should fall off. So I'm not gonna let it fall off, because if I do, I might take a chance and I might damage my brake line. This is my brake line I'm touching. Woo, woo. And if I damage that, it's gonna be more work, and I don't want to do that. So do is remove that like so. Now I'm going to take off my brake pads, and they're in pretty good condition. I just changed them a few months ago, but I'm getting new rotors. So whenever you get new rotors, you want to change your brake pads. Now what I'm going to do is remove these two bolts to remove the caliper bracket, and that takes a 15 millimeter socket. Should be easy with this breaker bar. All right. All right, so this one should be good. Take it out. This should come out easily, just like so. This is your brake caliper bracket. All right. Also, you got clips on here. These clips right here, There's one and there's two, one at the top and bottom. If you buy brake pads, they usually, if you spend some money, they'll give you a set of these clips, which are just brake. It's called a brake component kit or brake kit, and they give you new ones. So in this case, I got new ones, so I don't need these. So I'm gonna just pop them off like so. Alrighty. So next, I am going to clean off these brand new rotors. You want to clean them because they have oil on them, right? And oil plus, how can I explain it? Oil plus braking equals a disaster. Look at that. Flip it, smack it, flip it, rub it down. Don't be stingy now. Wipe it down. All right? Once you do that, you are able to put the rotors on and pretty much assemble everything back how it was. So you want to put your rotor on first. So my lug nuts are terrible, man. I think they're just dirty. So it's not letting me screw them on straight on. So, oh, here we go. So you want to screw this on. The reason why I'm screwing this on is because I need the rotor to stay still while I'm putting on the caliper. Nice and snug. Now let's put on our brake caliper bracket. So these are part of the component kit. This is what I was talking about. So what I like to do is put some grease right there. Right there in between the clip, because that is where the brake pad slides in and out. It travels right through that in a small space, and metal and metal contact can cause a squeak. So you want to put oil there so it doesn't squeak as much. I'm going to put the caliper back on, actually, and then I'm going to put my brackets inside of them. Now we're going to put on our clamps. Now we're going to grease the brake pad. So how you grease it? You want to put grease here, and you want to put it here, and you want to put it here. Here is where it slides inside of the bracket where I showed you where I put grease at. So this just would be another layer of grease to even help more with the prevention of the squeaking noise. All right. Whatever you do not want to get grease on the actual pad. Once you do that, you can one side. So you got these things right here that come with it as well, right? Along with those clips. This is called a low brake indicator. So you attach this onto the brake pad, and once the brake pad gets low, I don't know if you can see that, but once it gets low, it'll hit there, and then you know, hey, it's time to get brakes because it's pretty low. Now what we're going to do is push this. I don't know if you can see it, but this right here is a brake cylinder, piston. We're going to push that piston in so that we're able to put this caliper over the brake pads. So you want to get your old brake. You want to place it in. like that. You want to get you a C-clamp. You want to twist the C-clamp in to push that brake piston in. Ideally, you're supposed to open up the master brake cylinder reservoir when doing this, because it creates pressure, back pressure. But it's not a far travel, so we all right. But that's something to know, something good to know. So now we want to put our calipers on. So we want to put our calipers the same way we took them off. All right, so one at the top, one at the bottom. In this case, one at the bottom and one at the top. Also, we want to make sure that these inserts are in good shape. I already checked it. I forgot to show you guys, but I already checked them. You want to make sure you in and out with them is smooth. If you want to pull this piece out, it comes out of this rubber grommet, and you want to grease it if it's not greased, because this thing slides in and out, and that has to be greased well enough so that it has a smooth travel and there's no friction in there. It will wear off easily. Now we're gonna put the tire on. That's not hard. Everything else after this is pretty much easy. I think I'm gonna end it now. But one thing you guys, you need to remember is to pump the brakes until they get stiff, because right now we pump the piston, we push the piston in. So when you hit the brake, you're not gonna feel anything. So once you punch the piston, once you pump the brake, the piston is gonna move in and it's gonna engage the brake pad, and that's when it'll get stiff. And then now you'll be able to stop and go. So whatever you do, make sure you pump your brake pad until it gets stiff before you just take off. All right, this is Feast Deuce signing out, man. You guys have a blessed one. If you like my video, share, subscribe. I hope you learn from it. You know, it's just pretty simple. A lot of people don't know how to change brakes, but this is probably the best way to do it, manually. Signing off.